What's up, guys? My name is Khan. We're back today in Scrap Mechanic, and we're back with another highly requested build, and that is, of course, using the Magnets mod to make an electromagnetic railgun. So a lot of people, ever since that mod came out, have been asking really for two main things, which is, one, make an electromagnetic railgun, and two, make a maglev train. And neither of those challenges I've really attempted to do, so I decided to finally sit down and go and look at how to make a proper electromagnetic railgun. And this is just a prototype. You'll see there are some limitations. We'll go through what those are in a second, and I really want to hear your guys' feedback on how to make this design just a little bit better. First, we'll take a look at how it works. Now, it's not as easy as you might think. A lot of people are going to say, well, Con, all you really did was you hooked up a bunch of magnets to a switch and you turned it on and boom, it works great. And that's very, very true. But the position of the switch relative to the object, relative to the magnets, really matters, and the number of switches you have on either side really matters, and we're going to demonstrate that here. So the basic projectile we've got here is a north powered magnet. So these are all south magnets, and this is a north magnet, and what happens is it drags the south magnets, drag the north magnet so fast into them that it goes shooting through it and goes launching off in that direction. But it's very important that we have the proper layout of the projectile. So the key I found to these electromagnetic railguns is that you can't actually have the magnet sitting on anything when you try and fire it. It seems to glitch if there's any sort of collisions just because of how fast the magnet moves. And here's sort of the real example. So if we take a projectile there and we put it down, we put a switch on it, you can see here's our lovely projectile. We set it to north, we turn it on. Now, when we hit this south switch, you would expect to get launched straight down the barrel, but most of the time you can see there, it kind of arced really quickly into the ground, and I think that's because of the collision that's happening on this concrete here. And so what we end up doing is we just delete that concrete layer, we build a little bit of a pillar up, and then we put a disconnect here between the particle and the ground, so the shot itself. And if we turn that on, that should be set to north, and if we turn this on, you can see it obviously can't move. And if we just shoot the back of it, we should see it launch off relatively quickly. I don't know if I can hit this. Hold on. There we go. You can see how straight that fires, and it seems like it's because we're not actually having it collide with anything on the ground. For some reason, when it collides with something on the ground, it just sort of sends it in a weird direction. So if we take this same principle here, we can shoot another one. It's relatively consistent, actually. Surprisingly, seeing as how, you know, we are shooting with a spud gun, but there we go. We can turn that one on, and same deal. We can just fire it, and boom. And there you go. You can see it bouncing all along there. So you can see a very simple principle, very easy to do. And of course, the only thing you really have to worry about is making sure that your bullets stay suspended before you fire them. So this is the magnet railgun mag that I decided to use for the railgun. We could have done it with individual ones. There are bearings in between them. There's not really any reason for the bearings. They never rotate. They're just there so that we can have all these next to each other, and each one of these is its own sort of creation. If we didn't have those bearings, then each of these would be welded together and you'd never be able to disconnect them. You have to space out the bullets. So we've got 40 rounds here, and you can see this mag just loads into here quite nicely. We just weld it onto this black piece right there. We've got basically this complicated spud gun firing mechanism. So really, we turn on the magnets with one. That also powers up the piston there, you can see, which helps pushes the rounds towards us in this sort of chamber. Now, the rounds are still suspended nicely, so we've got spud gun that will activate the switch on the front, and then after a very small time delay, we can't even see here, let's just, you know what, there we go. So this spud gun here will actually shoot and activate the switch on the front of each projectile, so you don't have all the switches activated, and it shoots first, and then this one shoots to disconnect the cardboard piece, and then this spud gun here actually shoots to blow out the entire middle cardboard piece only once the round of 4 has been emptied of that, like, sort of spool. And then when it shoots at the middle piece, the piston will push the whole thing forward, and you'll get another set of rounds. So we'll fire off a bunch of rounds here. It is pretty good. I mean, it's not that bad. It's very accurate. After all the shots, you'll see as the time goes on, we start to miss more and more shots. Something happens with the script, and it gets a little bit weird. But anyways, we're just gonna turn it on there, press 1, make sure it's turned on, and we press 2, and we'll see. Okay, misfire, perfect. Okay, misfire again, great. Okay, perfect. All right, so for some reason that one completely misfired, so I've completely reloaded the world. I don't know why. There's something weird with this magnet script, and maybe it's the way I'm doing this with the 4 sets of magnets around the outside. Maybe it's a number of blocks total once you have a total number of magnet blocks in the same world. I'm not really sure. This is the main reason why I haven't mounted this on a vehicle yet is I don't know how to work out the consistency issues with the railgun. But anyways, we'll see if it works better here on a completely empty world with, you know, nothing on it. So here we go. We've powered it up. There we go. You can see perfect shot. Oh, a little bit off there. Perfect shot there. So I don't know what it is. For some reason, you just don't get the consistent shots, and then all of a sudden you reload the world, and that one misfired. But you can see there is definitely a consistency issue, and I'd love to figure out how to work that out before I actually, you know, upload this to the workshop, because you can see there, out of that round of 4, we only got 2 shots that actually fired. So there's a good shot there. That's another good shot there. You can see they go great though, very, very straight when they actually do shoot, and double misfire there as well. And the misfires aren't very much dependent on the position. I know it might seem like it's always those last 2, but trust me, I've had misfires in every position, and I don't understand why it happens. It's just something. There we go. There's 3 good shot, and no, that one just didn't go anywhere. But anyways, it is a really cool railgun. I'm really happy. It does work with the principle of magnets and magnetism. Of course, there is this little bit of a problem here, which is, you know, your projectiles all repel each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to spawn in this creation, and we're just going to take a look at how powerful the railgun truly is. Obviously, we don't really have explosive blocks, so if we wanted to make a railgun projectile that was explosive, first of all, we need a bigger railgun. So maybe we'll make a bigger prototype and see if we can get it more consistent with a bigger magnet chamber. I'm not really sure. I don't think the issue is necessarily the tube of magnets. We'll spawn it on our new world here, and we'll see how many different, you know, walls we could penetrate with this. All right, so I obviously know that it's going to go through 1 concrete wall. There's no reason why it's not going to go through 1 concrete wall. So we're gonna put 2, and we'll put them in spacings of 2 blocks. So, or I guess that one's 3 blocks. You know what? We'll put them in spacings of 3 blocks. That's fine. That way we have lots of room to make sure that, you know, if the particle does get stuck, it'll fall in between them. So there we've got 20 concrete walls, and we'll see if they'll stop the projectile. I honestly don't think they are. We're just going to fire 1 projectile. If we get 1 good one, we're not going to fire any more, because I want to do a little bit more testing, and if we fire like 20 at this 1 wall, then, you know, we'll just have to reload the world and replace more walls. So here we go. So we've got the Electro Railgun powered up, which would be really cool if it had like an actual charging sound. We're a little bit off to the one side, but it should still be aimed at it. And here we go in 3, 2, 1. Oh, did it get stopped? Oh, it got stopped. Interesting. It made it through 5. When I was testing this railgun, I actually made it through a lot more than 20 blocks. That's very, very interesting. I've never seen it stop before. Okay, so that got through 5. Hold on, we have to test this again. There's no way that's real. Is this okay? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Really? It did it again. It got okay. Hold on. We gotta. This is ridiculous. I spent a fair amount of time testing this, thinking, you know, how many different objects can we actually shoot the railgun through? And apparently, it was going through so many more concrete blocks. I guess I don't know what it is. Something changed or what the deal is here, but we're gonna put some glass on either side here, just so the particles get contained within the tube. All right, let's try it again. 3, 2, 1. It's still getting stuck every time. Like 5 blocks or something is getting through 5 blocks of concrete. Okay, well then let's try. You know, let's try 1 super thick layer first. Does this make a difference, or does it still have the same speed penetration? That is awesome. I can't believe it. Before it was way too good. Now it's actually realistic. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, misfire. There we go. That one went straight in. Pretty good. It went right through the 5 block, and it's still making it only through those 5 layers. That's interesting. That is really, really cool. I don't think distance to it matters. I don't think we're gonna lose that much speed out of the particle before it hits the wall, but you know what, we'll just go really close to the wall just like that, and we'll see if we can penetrate more than 5 layers. So they consistently get to about here. We'll see if we can get past that with this, or if it truly is. I don't know if it's something, again, like I said, when I was testing, I was getting through like 30-40 layers no problem, So I'm not sure if it's something with the number of scripts that have been running, or maybe the fact that I'm recording and there's different frame rates. I'm not exactly sure how this electromagnetic mod works. And again, before I upload any sort of railgun to the workshop, I'd really love to have a more consistent firing prototype, I guess. I definitely also want to make one that fires a bigger particle and has a particle that could turn off. The main reason is, of course, when we get explosive blocks, we want to be able to shoot explosives with magnets and just have them go flying across the map. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. Of course, let me know in the comments down below what improvements you think we could make to this and how we can make the particles more consistent. You've seen how they shoot randomly. We also had that one clip where not a single shot even worked. So obviously there are some issues that I would love to iron out. It did take me a fair amount of time just to figure out how to make a particle shoot with the magnets. When you first just start putting magnets down, the particles go all over the place. They're not consistent, but you know, that now that we figured that out, there definitely is some improvements that need to be had. But we've got ourselves powered up here. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. Are you serious? That didn't even penetrate the 5. Are we too close? Is it getting slowed down by the south? Okay, let's back up just out of range of the magnet effect. Okay, there we go. That should be far enough. Here we go. So power up and 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it definitely goes in, and I bet you it goes back to that same spot. Oh no, it goes a little bit farther. This is weird. I do not understand why this is happening the way it's happening. So they definitely go further in if we increase the distance back. You can see if we were super close to the wall, they don't even go in at all. They just kind of hit the 5 layers. All right, here we go. Power it up, and 3, 2, 1. Ooh, not even penetrating the wall at all. Interesting. So there's a magical zone where we can get wall penetration with the railgun. Of course, with explosives, this would be so much better. And I can't wait for explosives. I'm so hyped to see to how the explosives are implemented. And then, of course, being able to put them on missiles and railguns and other things like that. Really, really cool stuff. But, of course, let me know what you think of this in the comments down below. I was expecting it to go through a lot more layers. Like I said, when I was testing, it seemed to work a lot better. So I'm not exactly sure what could have changed between testing it and now, but apparently there is some serious differences. So before we go though, I do want to do one final test. So we've seen it can go through a single layer of concrete, of course. It can, of course, go through multiple layers of concrete. Not as many as I would have liked, but you know what? It's still pretty good, and with explosives, it'll be fantastic. But the question is, can it go through a layer of bathtubs? See, bathtubs are like seats. They have a bit more of a different collision box. They are object based, and so we'll see if it can penetrate a wall of bathtubs. So we'll line up at that sort of ideal distance, which is kind of not too far back and not too close. It's like something like this, right? This seems pretty good, and we'll turn it on, and bathtub versus railgun in 3, 2, 1. Okay, it definitely went right through the bathtub. So it's that magical distance. Oh, no, that one went. Okay, no, it's fine. Fine. You know what? We're rapid fire. We'll rapid fire. Look at this. Look at this. So many bullets going in. But anyways, of course, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like I said, I'm not going to upload this to the workshop yet. I think there needs to be some improvements. You can see, obviously, with firing consistency, and of course, with, you know, yeah, like, look at like, some of these, like, I don't even think we've shot a single good one now. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and while you're at it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time. Look at, we accidentally turned one. Oh boy. Okay, this is why we're supposed to weld it down.